of communications. Thanks so much for your time. Those of us who are watching us from across the country, this is News at 10, and we'll start with a big one. Now let's start from here. The Senior Staff Associations of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the University of Mines and Technology, University of Cape Coast, the University of Development Studies, and the University of Education, Winneba, have announced a withdrawal of their membership from the Federation of Universities Senior Staff Association of Ghana, FUSAG. In a communique dated September 30, 2017, the 5 local associations of the public universities cited, among other issues, breaches of FUSAG national constitution by the current national executives, including the General Secretary. They noted the failure of FUSAG National to render audited accounts since 2012 and the failure of FUSAG National to adhere to directives given by TUC to resolve the UCC Knust impasse since August 2016 are some of the reasons why they have decided to break away from the group. Grateful for you staying there. My guest tonight is the chairman of the Universities Senior Staff Association of Ghana, UDS branch, Abdul, Majid, Yousuf. Welcome to News at 10.
Thank you.
Let's start from here. The communique you issued said that further to a resolution passed at the meeting of elected officers and representatives held on Saturday, 22nd July at Windy Lodge. Now, who are these officers and representatives?
Yes, the FUSAG is an affiliate of TUC.
Right.
And we replicate the structures of the TUC at the local level. So each local has some elected officers who are in charge of the activities of the union at that level.
Right.
And so those that converge on Winneba to come up with these resolutions were the elected executives at the local level.
Of the local level. So we can say that these are officers from the Winneba campus?
Yes.
That's
UDS.
UDS.
KNUST, UCC.
All those local officers.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now, so the decision has been taken that you are breaking away from the main group.
Yes, indeed.
And you have mentioned several issues, one of which is the fact that you are suggesting that there's a breach of the FUSAG national constitution by the current national executives. Why is there a breach?
Perfectly so. One of the reasons is that we, per the Constitution, have the national to render accounts at the end of every financial year, maximum 3 months after the end of every financial year.
Right.
Some accounts must be rendered because we are contributors. It is an association which is limited by guarantee and it thrives on members' contributions. So for the period we are talking about, 2012 to 2016, we have not had the benefit of audited
No accounts been rendered?
Not at all.
I see.
Yes. And beyond that, we have had an instance where 2 major universities, KNUST and UCC, withdrew membership in March of 2016. And the rest of us, UEW, UDS, and UMAT, expressed our dissatisfaction with the action taken, and for which reason we were saying that they should come back. But we realized along the line that even the national officers were not interested in the comeback of our brothers and sisters.
Getting them back into your fold.
Not at all.
Let me pause you here and ask you. So 2012 and 2016, no accounts been rendered. Why is that?
It is an apparent failure on the part of our leadership because you are mandated by the Constitution to render accounts. So for whatever reason, you cannot tell us, you cannot convince us that 5 years down the lane, you could not put your books together.
Meetings are held and yet no accounts are
Not
rendered
at all.
for the whole financial year.
Not at all.
If that is the case, why have the association waited all this while before raising the red flags about this?
We did not wait all the while. At every opportunity, we remind the national executive that even if you want us to continue to contribute, you first must justify why we should continue contributing our monies. Because as to how much we even owe, the accounts must state that. That must be captured in the accounts. And so if you come with a synopsis without an account and tell us that this is how much, for instance, UDS owe, and for all that we have contributed all the while, you are not telling us what you've used the monies for, then of course we deserve to raise the red flag.
So is the account the major reason why you're breaking away?
There is an apparent lack of interest.
Because you've listed about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullet points as to reasons why you have.
Yes, there was a clear demonstration on the part of the national executive not to keep the unity together, not to keep us together.
What do you mean by demonstration?
Yes,
what exactly?
They did not show interest in bringing back our brothers.
That's one of them.
KNUST and UCC. And when the other universities, the other three, took the initiative, sent petitions even as far as TUC, and TUC instructed them to go into the market, they did not show any interest.
Let me ask you on this. There's also one of your bullet points that says that the improper organization and unjustifiable adjournment of conference in August 2016 at Legon, University of Ghana, Legon. This was one of the reasons. What happened?
Yes, we usually have the National Delegates Conference every 4 years, and that is supposed to give us a platform to hold elections, as well as have audited accounts presented. But you realize that the executive at the time, one of the bullet points here is the fact that they were interim. So for 4 years, right from 2012 to 2016, we had interim executives. So the conference at Legon was supposed to address the issue of the legitimacy of the interim executive.
Right.
The options were that you either give us the opportunity to elect fresh executives or we renew your mandate. Or simply set you aside and put a new team in place. But conference was adjourned for no tangible reason.
I see. What will bring you back?
We are of the hope that those of our brothers and sisters, we have 9 public universities that form the federation. 5 have opted out.
Right.
We have the hope that the remaining 4 would rather join us.
And you said you are stronger because you constitute 70% of the entire
70%. Over 70%.
So you're not thinking of coming back, but rather you want the other 4 to join the 70%.
Yes. What we're
Nothing
doing now,
will bring you back?
What we're doing now is a revolution.
If these 7 bullet points you have raised are addressed,
yes,
you want to go back to the mother?
If these are addressed, then what it means in effect is that everybody has come back on board.
Okay.
That is what it means. Everybody would have come back on board.
I see. And so you said the new union is to be outlawed?
Yes, we have started the processes. When all the processes have been completed, our hope is that we will launch the new union.
Majid, I'm grateful. Abdul Majid Yousuf is the chairman, University Senior Staff Association of Ghana, UDS branch, talking to me there. It's a development story. We'll follow up and get you more on that. But let's turn attention to some other issues. A member of the Police Council and president of the National Association of Retired Police Officers, COP Kwesi Nkansa, retired, has urged the police administration to investigate the leaked tape on the Deputy Director General of CID and A+. He insisted a professionally unbiased result will further boost public confidence and help the transformation agenda.
The Deputy Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, ACP Mamea Tiwa Adudankwa, has early this week responded to a leak audio on social media suggesting that her conversation with controversial musician Kwame A+ has been doctored. The leaked audio made damning references to the investigations into the corruption allegations against the two deputy chief of staff at the presidency. And already, there have been public outcries, some of which are calling for the interdiction of the deputy CID boss. But in the views of a member of the Police Council and president of the National Association of Retired Police Officers, COP Kwesi Nkansa retired, the police administration needed to conduct a professional and an unbiased investigation to establish the veracity.
It's for the police administration to investigate, to find out what really happened. The police service has its own way of finding out some of these things. It is not yet clear whether what has been said is true or false.
COP Kwesi Nkansa retired made the call when he presented a Toyota bus to the Accra branch of the Retired Police Officers Association and lauded the transformation drive of the police administration.
You cannot jump from one point to another, but you have to do it by a gradual process. And I believe strongly that if you're able to do it at the close of 2018 or 2020, you would have achieved a lot for the good country of Ghana.
The self-funded regional bus is the second after the Ashanti region and aimed at supporting the mobility of members of the association. Other regional branches are online to benefit from the package.
Now let's stay on the issues raised by COP in Nkansa. Adam Puna is a security and safety analyst. He says, join me on the phone lines. Grateful your time for spending your time with us. But let us begin from here. The concerns being raised by the public about the police investigating or reinvestigating the issue. Do you think it borders on the public worry that the police does not have the capacity to reinvestigate this issue, or simply a loss of confidence in the police service to investigate the issue?
Thank you very much. Good evening to your cherished viewers. If you ask me, what I would say is that it has to do with probably, just like you raised, the police not having, not being resourced to be able to, delve into simple issues such as these. I listened to the tape, and I thought that if the whole police criminal investigation department is put into this type of situation, one would have thought that they should have been able to do a very good job to, get themselves out. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to do that. I'm sure I've done a couple of interviews by Skype with network, and anyone who wants to probably there are technologies, there are systems in place that would aid you to probably transform or get one voice converted into another. You can use the morphing technology. There are softwares all over that you can use. And so I only need probably I need you to speak 5 to 10 seconds. And I'm able to use your voice, and I'm able to use it to, put it into a system, and then get it over voice, over IP call. And once I'm able to do that, the other person speaking from the other end is going to exactly sound like yourself in the studio at the moment. And so I listened to it, and I thought police should have used the voice analyzer. There is a system called the analyzer to be able to analyze and read through the lines. The analyzer will tell you consistency. And I think I've done some, I did, try to do an analysis of it. And I think the results I got in terms of percentage, I don't need to share that with your viewers and probably listeners. But I think this issue, we are spending too much time and money. And I've had senior, reputable people in this country calling for the head of the woman.
Let me, Adam Puna, let me cut in here and seek some clarification. You're simply saying that the police lacks the logistics to do this investigation, or to have done it well?
That is the way it is. It's unfortunate, but that is the reality. Yes, the police lacks what it takes to be able to. We have not resourced the police well enough to have been able to do this, because this leaked tape would have been able to bring this whole brouhaha to rest, because then we would have known who is saying the truth by simply, subjecting this leaked tape to a voice analyzer or trying to, get to the bottom of it. But unfortunately, like I said, we haven't resolved the police enough to be able to do it. And if you listen to the police, the lady, she said A+ should prove it. And I'm thinking that the police, we should resource the police to be able to prove beyond every reasonable doubt. But this is something that can be done. Yeah.
I see. Since the police officer in charge did not deny that it was her voice, what would a voice analyzer do?
No, the voice analyzer, what it does is that it's supposed to be checking consistency. You see, when I'm talking to you, my comments and the dots, when I'm speaking to you, the breaks and all that, what the voice analyzer does is to, for instance, if you pick, let's say you take my voice, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and you try to put it through any voice over IP core network and you try to doctor it. What the voice analyzer will do is to say, this voice is yourself in the studio. It is your voice, but it is not you speaking at the other end. There is a lot of inconsistency. And so the voice analyzer would have put this whole thing to rest. Because if you listen to, all the police needed to do, or all the police needs to do, is to subject this leaked tape to what is called in security terms, or in trying to get to know who is speaking and who is not speaking, is to subject this whole conversation to a voice analyzer. It will tell you that, yes, it is my voice, but I'm not the one at the other end of the device talking. Someone picked my voice, 5, 10 seconds, 2 minutes, and put it there, and then put it through a voice over IP call, and then, merged it here and there, and then everything sounded like me. Yes, it's my voice, but I'm not the one talking.
I see.
So that is basically what I'm saying.
I see. Okay, so in the absence of this analyzer, it means that the police can do very little about the confusion we find ourselves in.
Exactly. Without the analyzer, the police you can't do anything. Because the truth is that it is her voice. But you need a voice analyzer. The voice analyzer is almost like trying to authenticate. I'm talking to you, when you subject this conversation, definitely it's recorded. If you subject this conversation, if you put it through any good voice analyzer, it's going to tell you, I am the one talking.
Okay.
But if someone used my voice and doctored it and probably put it through any, matching device, what is going to happen is I will say it is my voice, but I'm not the one who actually spoke. And these are two different things we have to be aware of.
All right.
These are two different things. Which looks like we are missing, as a nation, we are missing it. These are two different things. They are not the same.
All right. I am grateful for your time with us. Adam Puna is a security and safety analyst suggesting that the way out is a voice analyzer to deal with the leaked tape. This is News at 10. When we come back, more stories. Stay with us if you can. Welcome back. The Chief Director at the Ministry of Trade and Industry has suggested a review of the legal framework to compel businesses in the country to provide the necessary data on request by government. He was speaking in Accra at the launch of the Integrated Business Establishment Survey Phase 2.
Integrated Business Establishment Survey (IBES) is an economic census conducted on the full set of economic units across all sectors of the Ghanaian economy. It covers the areas of institutional agriculture, services and industry. These economic units include all establishments undertaking any legal activity in Ghana, both private and public. IBES Phase 1 was used to produce a register of businesses in Ghana that will meet the needs of policymakers, other private sector users and researchers. At the launch of the Integrated Business Establishment Survey Phase 2 report, Chief Director of the Ministry of Trade and Industry was of the view that to build a reliable, timely and accurate database, there is the need for individuals and businesses to respond to requests for information.
It's high time that we look at getting some legal document in place that will compel businesses to submit the data. Even though there is one now, I don't think it's strong enough. There must be very serious sanctions if you don't provide information when it's required.
IBES2 captures non-household information such as name of business, location, output, number of employees and ownership. It also wants to obtain data on production as a basis for government and business analysis and decision-making. Acting government statistician Bawadia indicates the survey results will help in rebasing the economy.
For the first time, we have a lot of data on all non-household establishments in the country, and this should form a basis for decision-making concerning businesses. It also gives us a lot of indicators and data for rebasing the Ghana's GDP, for rebasing the producer price index.
The survey findings shows that the service sector has become the driving force of the economy, providing 7 out of 10 outputs to households. The survey, among other things, recommended an implementation of a strategic plan specifically for firms in the industry sector, since it has forward and backward linkages. IBES project coordinator of the Ghana Statistical Service, Anthony Kakra, believes the survey provides some answers to policymakers.
Industry, especially manufacturing, is not doing well over the period, and for every economy, if manufacturing survives and does well, the economy is robust and can withstand shocks. The cost of production was high for manufacturing, and so if government can put in mechanisms such that they will put in measures to mitigate the astronomical increases in prices in the raw materials, that will help manufacturing to do well.
We're grateful that you stayed there to be part of the show tonight. My guys in the studio, Christopher Sowa, Echo Johnson and Felix Azaglo, my cameraman Ebenezer Tete, Manassas Dakwa, Betmensa, John Flagbo. Of course, the show was put together by Ebenezer Ejokumbuachi, my studio director Harriet Sumda. Technical production was by Alfred Boama. My name is Bright Nananfo. Have a good night, but stay right here on TV3. Good night.